This chapter is crucial for mastering influence. I see. Applying this will change how we lead. Precisely.
We must seize this opportunity to innovate and lead the way forward. Together, we can transform our vision into reality.
Many people want influence, position, and recognition, but very few are willing to do the inner work required before those things arrive. Leadership is not something you step into one day. It is something you grow into over time, and that growth always starts on the inside. If you cannot manage your attitude, your time, and your choices, then no title will ever make you a true leader. Leadership always begins with self-leadership. Before a person ever earns the right to influence others, they must first learn how to influence themselves. Many people believe leadership starts with a position, a title, or authority, but true leadership starts much earlier than that. It starts the moment you take responsibility for your own behavior, your own growth, and your own choices. If you cannot direct your own life, it becomes impossible to guide someone else's. Self-leadership means you stop waiting for external control and start practicing internal discipline. No one needs to remind you to do the work, improve your skills, or manage your attitude. You become your own accountability partner. You decide in advance what standards you will live by and then commit to honoring those standards even when it is inconvenient. This level of ownership separates leaders from followers long before anyone notices. Every leadership failure can be traced back to a breakdown in self-leadership. When emotions run unchecked, decisions suffer. When priorities are unclear, time is wasted. When personal growth is ignored, influence slowly weakens. Leaders who cannot manage their reactions under pressure eventually lose trust, and trust is the foundation of all leadership. People may follow instructions from someone who lacks self-control, but they will never fully commit to them. Self-leadership also requires clarity. You must know what matters most to you and why. Without clear values, it becomes easy to drift, react, and follow the crowd. Leaders who lead themselves well act with intention rather than impulse. They choose their responses instead of being controlled by circumstances. This inner stability gives others confidence in their direction. When you consistently lead yourself with discipline, integrity, and focus, your life becomes a message before your words ever do. People notice how you show up, how you handle setbacks, and how you continue growing. Long before you are asked to lead others, you are already teaching them what leadership looks like through the way you lead yourself. Daily discipline matters more than occasional motivation. Motivation is powerful, but it is also unpredictable. It comes and goes depending on mood, energy, and circumstances. Leaders who depend on motivation eventually stall because motivation fades the moment things become difficult. Discipline, on the other hand, does not rely on feelings, it relies on commitment. That is why discipline becomes the steady force behind long-term growth and leadership effectiveness. Discipline shows up in the routines you follow when no one is cheering for you. It is waking up and doing the work even when you feel tired. It is choosing preparation over procrastination and progress over comfort. Leaders understand that success is rarely the result of one big moment. It is the outcome of many small, disciplined actions repeated over time. What you do daily shapes who you become permanently. Motivation often asks, "Do I feel like doing this today?" Discipline asks, "What needs to be done today?" That shift in thinking changes everything. Leaders train themselves to act first and let motivation catch up later. They do not wait for the perfect mood or ideal conditions. They move forward with what they have, trusting that consistency will create momentum. Discipline also protects leaders from making emotional decisions. When habits are in place, progress continues even during difficult seasons. Discipline creates structure, and structure creates freedom. It frees you from relying on willpower alone and allows growth to happen almost automatically through intentional routines. People respect leaders who are disciplined because discipline builds reliability. When others know they can count on you, trust grows. Over time, that trust becomes influence. Motivation may inspire people for a moment, but discipline inspires confidence for the long term. Leaders who master daily discipline create stability in their lives, and that stability becomes the foundation upon which others are willing to follow. Consistency builds trust before authority does. People may recognize a title, but they trust a pattern. Leadership influence does not begin the moment you are given responsibility. It begins when people observe how reliably you show up over time. Authority can make people listen, but consistency makes them believe. Without consistency, even the most talented leader struggles to earn genuine followership. Consistency is not about being perfect, it is about being dependable. When your actions align with your words again and again, people feel secure around your leadership. They know what to expect from you. This predictability creates psychological safety, and safety is essential for trust. Leaders who change direction with every emotion or circumstance confuse people and weaken confidence, even if their intentions are good. Trust grows slowly, but erodes quickly. One broken promise can undo months of consistent behavior. That is why strong leaders guard their commitments carefully. They avoid overpromising and focus on delivering what they say they will do. When mistakes happen, consistency shows up in how leaders take responsibility, correct the issue, and move forward with integrity. That response matters more than the mistake itself. Consistency also reveals character under pressure. Anyone can act well when conditions are easy. True leadership is revealed when stress, criticism, or setbacks appear. People watch closely in those moments. When leaders remain steady, fair, and focused during challenges, trust deepens. It communicates that the leader can be relied upon even when circumstances are unstable. Before people follow your vision, they follow your example. They look for alignment between your values and your behavior. When they see that alignment consistently, authority becomes secondary. Influence grows naturally because trust has already been established. In the end, people do not follow leaders because of a position they hold, but because of the confidence they feel in the leader they observe every day. Decisions, not intentions, shape a leader's life. Many people have good intentions. They plan to grow, plan to improve, and plan to lead better. But leadership is not built on what you hope to do. It is built on what you decide to do and follow through on. Intentions may sound inspiring, but only decisions create movement. Leaders understand that progress begins the moment a clear choice is made. Every day, leaders are shaping their future through the decisions they make, both big and small. How they use their time, what they allow into their thinking, and how they respond to challenges all add up. Small decisions repeated consistently carry more power than rare dramatic choices. What seems insignificant in the moment often becomes significant over time. Indecision is one of the silent enemies of leadership. When leaders hesitate too long, opportunities pass and confidence weakens. People look to leaders for clarity, and clarity comes from decisiveness. This does not mean leaders always make perfect decisions. It means they take responsibility for their choices and adjust when necessary. Forward movement matters more than flawless judgment. Decisions also reveal priorities. You may say that growth, integrity, or discipline matters to you, but your decisions will always tell the truth. Leaders who lead themselves well align their choices with their values. They choose long-term progress over short-term comfort and responsibility over convenience. That alignment builds credibility with others. Strong leaders learn to decide in advance who they want to become. They set personal standards before pressure arrives. When challenges appear, they rely on those pre-made decisions instead of reacting emotionally. This practice keeps them grounded and consistent. In leadership, life rarely changes because of what you intend to do someday. It changes because of what you decide to do today. Each decision is a vote for the kind of leader you are becoming, and over time, those votes determine the direction and quality of your leadership journey. Growth is a personal responsibility, not a group activity. No one else can develop your potential for you. Coaches can guide, mentors can advise, and opportunities can open doors, but growth only happens when you decide to take ownership of it. Leaders who wait for others to motivate them, teach them, or push them forward eventually fall behind. Leaders who take responsibility for their own growth stay ahead. Personal growth begins with an honest assessment of where you are. Strong leaders are willing to confront their weaknesses without making excuses. They do not hide from feedback or blame circumstances. Instead, they ask themselves difficult questions and commit to improving one area at a time. This self-awareness becomes the foundation for meaningful progress. Leaders who grow intentionally create habits that support learning. They read, reflect, practice, and evaluate. They understand that improvement is not automatic with age or experience. Time only brings growth when it is used wisely. Every day presents a choice to either invest in growth or drift into comfort, and leaders choose investment. Taking responsibility for growth also means learning from failure. Instead of allowing mistakes to damage confidence, effective leaders extract lessons from them. They treat setbacks as teachers rather than stop signs. This mindset allows them to grow through adversity instead of being defeated by it. Personal growth requires patience and consistency. Results may not appear immediately, but progress compounds over time. Leaders trust the process even when outcomes are not visible. They understand that becoming better is more important than looking successful. When leaders commit to their own growth, their influence expands naturally. People are drawn to individuals who are continually improving because growth creates credibility. A leader who is growing has something valuable to offer. By taking full responsibility for personal development, leaders ensure that they never become the limiting factor in their own leadership journey. People follow who you are before they follow what you say. Leadership influence does not begin with speeches, instructions, or strategies. It begins with character. Long before people listen to a leader's words, they observe a leader's behavior. They watch how you act when you are under pressure, how you treat people when no one is watching, and how you respond when things do not go your way. Your example speaks before your voice ever does. Words can inspire for a moment, but character sustains influence. If there is a gap between what a leader says and what a leader does, people notice it immediately. That gap creates doubt, and doubt weakens trust. Leaders who live what they teach eliminate confusion. Their consistency makes their message believable because it is backed by visible action. Authenticity plays a critical role in this process. People do not expect leaders to be perfect, but they do expect them to be real. When leaders admit mistakes, take responsibility, and continue growing, it builds connection. Vulnerability, when paired with integrity, strengthens credibility. It shows people that leadership is not about image, but about alignment. Behavior sets the emotional climate for everyone around you. Your attitude influences morale. Your work ethic influences standards. Your response to challenges influences resilience in others. Even silence sends a message. Leaders who are intentional about who they are understand that they are always teaching, whether they intend to or not. When people respect the person, they are more open to the direction. When they trust the character, they commit to the vision. Influence grows naturally when leadership is lived, not just spoken. In the end, the strongest form of leadership is not persuasion through words, but inspiration through example, because people follow the leader before they follow the message.